Alright, we're coming back at you again with another installment of Is It Broken? That's the cool fun game that you buy an expensive statue or figure. It gets packaged up, put on the truck of ups, and of course they kick it around like a football, and you get a box that looks like it's been kicked around by a football, and you gotta wonder, is it broken? So here we go. We have another installment of that for you today. This is the Sideshow piece, and as you can see, that thing is busted right down to the box, and I can put my finger in there and it feels rather substantial. So that's what we're going to do today, people. Is it broken? Alright, so let's go ahead and crack this thing open. Come on back here, get the book knife out, baby. Boom, buck time. Let's open this thing up. And it's already kind of partially open as it is. Oh, Lord have mercy. Alright. Put the book away for right at the moment. And what are we opening up? Oh, wow. Good damage to the top of the box. Coming up, coming up, coming up, coming up. Boom. We are opening up. Get the plastic off. All right. What are we opening up? We've got the J.S.Campbell Premium Format Red Riding Hood. And spin the top of the box. Hold on, me. Spin it like this, and you're gonna see the extensive damage to the box. Pretty good beat right in here where it got hit into the side. Really crushed down here, and I'm gonna have to take some photos of all that. So let me pause this camera and I can handle that. Okay, now I've taken some pictures of this box. Let's open it up and see what's up. Alright, let's pull out the foam. Okay. I don't know if you can see the damage here where it took the strike, right where that silver sticker is. It's beat in there. The rest of the foam doesn't appear to have taken any kind of strike. Alright, so we'll go ahead and crack it open. See what we're left with. Alright, let's crack it open. And this is what's inside. Let's see if I can back it up just a little bit. And as you can see, this is where the impact of the heaviest impact was right here. So we'll take each piece out and see whether it's damaged or not. Alright, so let's continue on with Is It Broken? So here we go. I'm going to pull out the base first. Okay, pull out the base. Okay. Now the base, very hefty. 914 of 2000. This is the exclusive that comes with the picture, and basically kind of a matte black with a little mound of snow here, which is Mostly has a blue hue to it, like an icy blue, for the shading, you know, to kind of resemble snow. Okay, man, I don't even know how this thing, I didn't watch the video to see how this thing goes together, so we'll start with Little Red Riding Hood. We'll put her in first, and whether I'm putting this together correctly in the correct order, I don't know. Alrighty. Alright. Okay, first inspection of her. Okay, I'm not noticing any damage that I can see. Okay, so let's slide her into position, and there you have it. Bam! There we go. Let's put on this tree trunk, which I think would be the most likely to be damaged. You gotta be careful pulling this out because it's got a real tight foam pack on the main branch where it's kind of coming up to the. Be real careful how you pull that out. I could see that being very easily damaged. Right through this section here, there was like a tight foam. This foam was wrapped around it like that and pushed into the other foam. So you gotta be real careful how you pull that out, I would say. And of course, we're gonna have to be real careful getting this bag off, that you don't accidentally snag the tips, because this looks very frail and easily to be. This is what I figured would be damaged, because I'd seen some unboxings already of this, and judging where my damage was, I was really concerned with this branch, because that's right where the strike was. And I'm not noticing any damage, and this is where I would think I would see the most potential of damage. So that slides into this little square slot back here. It has a magnet. Put this on without messing things up. And slides in like so. Okay. Now the only thing left is arms, and I believe this. Another one was up close to the main impact. Would it be this basket with arrows in it? Right there. And a rather hefty piece. And it has a large metal pin, and whether that portion's magnetized or the magnet's up there, it's going to have to be pretty hefty to strong magnet to hold that up. Again, I'm not seeing any damage. It does appear to be fine, which is a good thing, because I'd be like really bummed out. I mean, it's a strong magnet, but yeah, it takes a little bit to have to pull that out. So yeah, that's a pretty strong magnet. It's fairly heavy, but there's a lot of strength and pull on that magnet. So yeah, but still, if this thing were, you know, had kids and there's a lot of jumping around, or you know, whatever in your household, could that vibrate loose with the weight of this? Potentially. So yeah, this would be definitely something I would be mindful of. You know, if you got little ones, grandkids, nieces, nephews, or children of your own, or whatever. Jumping around and acting silly. Yeah, I could see there may be a small potential that could fall off. So, okay, let's look at the crossbow. Again, it's in this bag. Got to be real careful because the ends there are rather fiddly. And I could see that easily being damaged. So, her hand's on a crossbow pistol. And that just slides in there like so. And it's, you know, let's see, does it have less movement one way or the other? I would say if you have it like that, yeah, it's kind of flimsy feeling. And people have mentioned that, but I think if you twist it, give it a little twist, it's more secure. So I think you need to kind of rock that in, because there is some movement, but I think if you twist it inwardly more, it feels more secure. Okay, let's get on with these branches. Again, they're in these bags, very, very flimsy tips. Got to be careful with those. Seems to be no damage. They just kind of sit in there. And the last and final one. Okay. Don't seem to be any damage there. And that just kind of... Oh, there it goes. It only kind of goes in one way. You got to kind of tweak it around gently. You will find how it goes in there. And there it is. With the exception of the little art print. And I'll look at that in just a second. Yeah, wow, she's cool. Mine, I've seen other people had a little bit of trouble with the feet, either not lining up properly or not fully touching. I would say mine seats in a little better, thank God, considering my Wonder Woman that I had in the Harley Quinn. It's nice to see that this one sat right in there. Do see a little bit of something sticky or glue here on her lower boot. I think I can get that cleaned off. So some kind of residue from a glue or a tape's on there. It's got to get cleaned off. It looks rather not good. So paint wise, other than that, looks good. Sculpt looks good. I love the theme of it. I love all these J.S.Campbells. Loved a lot of his artwork on the comic books that I've read and stuff like that. He's just a phenomenal artist, and I really love the fact that they're rendering a lot of his art into three-dimensional sculpts. It's really awesome. But yeah, this looks really good. It's a fantastic add to the line I currently have of the John Scott Campbell pieces. Okay, now we got the actual statue out the way. Let's take a look at the exclusive for this particular piece. And I had the option of getting the exclusives on all the other ones, but I don't know why I did. I probably should have. It's only $10. It's 10 flipping bucks, and kind of regretting that I didn't get them in the beginning. But I did this time. But it comes with a little red base here. It has a very pearlescent kind of paint on it. And it comes with this little print, the actual artwork that the sculpt was derived from. And it's on a piece of metal. So it's on a piece of metal. And hopefully that's coming up. And it literally just sits in place like such. And that way when you're displaying your piece, if you want to use that kind of as a backdrop, you can. Oh, alright, let's do a quick measurement. Alright, that base, I guess I should have measured that before I even put her together. I'm thinking that base is about 8 5/8, about 8 5/8. And overall height, the highest point of this statue, let me slide down through here, get the most accurate. I gotta be careful. Okay, I want to say that height of that at its highest, 19, we're going to go 19 1/4. It's a little less, more like 19 1/8, but give you a little cheat room. Tip of that crossbow's 17 5/8. Her as a character. She is standing. Let's see if I can kind of, how I can get a good clean measurement. Tell you what, let me take this off so I can get that measurement, because that's kind of getting in my way. Let's take that off. That way we can get a measurement of her as a character. This is pretty damn tough to get this measurement. Tell you what, let me take both her arms off. Alright, now with both her arms off, let's see how tall she is. Yeah, that's better. I'm saying her as a character, she's 13 and about 13 3/4, just under 14 inches, which makes her essentially taller than a Barbie doll, which is 1/6 scale. So she's slightly taller than a Barbie doll, and she's not quite 1/4. So I would probably say she's 0.5, like 1/6.5, somewhere between a 6 scale and a 1/4 scale. She's kind of floating right in between 6 scale and a 1/4 scale. All right, let's catch let's see, her side to side. Let's see, she is probably, it's going to be kind of hard to judge. Man, you're probably going to need, wow, probably something in the 11 3/4 range, 12 inches. Again, with that branch coming out, again, you're probably about 10 3/4, maybe almost 11 this way. So, yeah, this is a pretty big statue. It's a space eater. It's going to take up some space. I ain't lying. This is what's going to take up some space. You're definitely going to have to find a good spot to put this one. Alright, here you go. Quick look at the John Scott Campbell's Little Red Riding Hood exclusive. Like I said, it's a great statue. Great addition to it. And I'm going to go ahead and throw this thing on the 360 spin under some better lighting. see what we think of it and get some better opinions of it. But you know, from what I can see right here, I'm digging it, man. It's pretty cool, and like I said, I believe I lucked out. A, it wasn't broken, and B, she's sitting in there better than other people's who have gotten this statue. Other than have to get that little goo off of her boot, which that was kind of a have to get that off, and that's a bit of a bummer. So we'll address that. But yeah, let's throw this thing on a 360. Also, a quick note that I wanted to add to this, that I wanted to say that it's a real testament to Sideshow and the foam packaging that they put on these figures that it could withstand the abuse from the Ups delivery company, and this thing still come out, you know, undamaged piece. So that's pretty cool. As far as down here on her foot, a little bit of water and a soft rag t-shirt type material. Came right off, no big deal, so that's fine. So yeah, otherwise a great statue. Okay, let's get on with this 360 spin of the J.S.Campbell's Red Riding Hood. Alright, as always, we're going to go in for that portrait. Okay, it's about as close as I'm going to get without driving my autofocus crazy. As always, a great looking portrait with these J.S.Campbell statues. Really appreciate the really nice blue eyes. The red lips, a little bit of blush up here. I don't know if the camera's picking that up. I do have quite a bit of lighting on it, and hopefully it's not washing it out. And got a little eyebrow kind of raised up, it looks like, as if she's kind of searching for something, and she's kind of trying to be aware of what's going on in her surroundings. She's got kind of like a brownish red hair. Is that auburn? I don't know what that is. Yes, there's some nice. There is some nice shading values in there with a little bit deeper brown and the red highlights. I really like this one little kind of strand coming down through here. You can almost kind of see her eye kind of through that little opening between that one strand and the bulk of the other hair, and a lot of nice individual strands there with that, so that's pretty cool. And of course her hood, let's see if I can go around here, hopefully some of this other stuff doesn't confuse the focusing of this camera. Hood looks real nice, of her little cape, a lot of nice details in there. Appreciate the different folding of the fabric and how it's laying. This is laying down on the cape. Let me back up a little bit so you can kind of get the whole of that cape. Alright, yeah. And of course you got some, you know, the wind blowing here with the cape. I'm kind of spin that around and give you the whole effect of that cape and the different folds in shadowing in there where they've taken time to do that. Yeah, especially like this really hard fold here with the blowing of the wind looks really cool. And of course that carries that line up through here. So yeah, that looks real good. Hopefully this tree branch is probably going to drive my camera crazy. Okay, coming back around. And it's nicely tied up right here. And as for her outfit, quite a nice little outfit she's got. And of course, kind of like a white top. There's some nice shading underneath here with the black here and the red lacing coming up, and of course her skirt wind blown, as with the same with the cape. Looks real good. A lot of shading values. I'm gonna turn that just a little bit. Yeah. And then of course you see nice blowing here. Alright, you got nice folding here and lacing up the back. Get a little bit of a panty shot there, not much. So it's got that adult theme as usual. Coming around. Now the skin tones here, I've seen other reviews. There are people that don't like that she seems a little too pale, but she's a redhead. That's characteristic. They're going to have very, very fair skin. There is some mild shading values there. Let's get on with the crossbow. Hands on like a crossbow pistol, just really well detailed. Anyway, close look at the crossbow. It's really cool. This backup's probably driving the camera nuts. Yeah. It's a really cool looking crossbow. Alright. Now she does have a very, sexy body shape to her, as one would expect out of anything from J.S.Campbell. Very adult themed. Now she's holding a nice little basket here. And I will say that this 360 spin's been being done quite a time frame from when I actually shot the first part of this video. And for those who may be concerned, and let me put my hand under here. I mean, I'm tapping it. It's not coming off. I know there was people say, oh, it's quite a bit of weight to be hung on by a magnet, but as you see, it's pretty steady there. It's not going anywhere. So they put some nice strong magnets on that. Anyway, yeah, let's talk about that basket. It's nicely detailed with weaves. Nice little wrap for the handle portion. Her gloves look real nice. Got some nice little folds there. Little arrows and little cloth there on the top. So it looks really good. Basket looks nice. And as far as her body, you can see the legs. She's got some nice little muscle tone there. Hopefully the camera's, not the camera, but the lighting is not washing it out. You can see different lines here of the different leg muscles and stuff. And there is some mild shading there as well. You can see the crease from underneath her cheek coming up through here, back here behind her kneecaps. Not sure if that's coming through. Hold on. Shoot. Tell you what, let me just remove this real quick. That way you can appreciate that. Alright. Here we go. That's a little better. Get the tree out the way. You can see the nice creases behind the kneecaps. There. Looks good. Since I got that off, let's go ahead and look at the boots, and then I'll put the tree back on and we'll talk about that, since it does kind of get in the way. And of course the boots look really nice. Nice little folds here. The cuff looks really nice. And mine, I know there's been a couple where They said she didn't seat in properly, that it didn't line up properly. Mine seems to be fine, thank God. Yeah, so I like the detail on the boots. Some highlights here. Looks like they used a bit of blue for the highlights. You can see that. And tell you what, before we get too crazy about putting that branch back in, let's address the base real fast. It's kind of snow, and of course I've seen a couple people kind of knock it for not having more of a rougher texture rather than a smoother one. But if you look at the paint, it does have a bit of a frosty effect or something, so I think they did fine. I'm not going to knock them for how they, type of paint that they used for it. And you can see nice, hopefully it's not washing out, you can see nice highlights and shaded values that are kind of in like a frosty blue. And of course you got these nice wolf footprints in there. And you have the one tree branch coming up. Kind of looks like a hand. Many people have made that comment, and I'd have to agree. That's probably the intent, that it looks like a hand. And you can see a little bit of frosty frozenness on the branch. Looks good. Okay, with that, let's go ahead and put that branch back in. Actually, we'll take a close look at the branch too. And it has some frosted down at the bottom. We'll look at that real quick. So that's kind of nice. And that this slides in there very nicely. Bam. It's that easy. Now the only slight knock I find with the branch is it gives you an odd little lip where it looks like the snow's not coming up to the branch, but the branch is kind of, up to the snow. If that kind of makes sense, and you'll kind of see it here as I spin. You kind of have this line coming up through here where it looks, it looks like it's just set in there, but you can only do so good, I suppose. The other little knock on my branch does have two little black spots right there. Looks like it might be paint drips. And I don't even want to attempt to try to get that off, because God knows what I'd do to mess the painting up to try to clean that up. But yeah, little knock there. Other than that, the branch looks pretty good as far as the different details and cuts in it. And as you can see, the different details in the branch and how it has a very hand-like shape to it. That's pretty cool. Like that. These are nice shaded values, as you can see. Shaded values and highlights. My goodness. This is kind of a hard statue to kind of detail. It's just kind of going everywhere. But yeah. And let's take a closer look at those two little splops. Alright, yeah, so my final thoughts. It's a really nice figure, or statue rather. Really looks good with the rest of the set. I have all of them. This is what, the fourth? Let me see, 1, 2, 3. No, this is the fifth. Got the mermaid. I have Alice in Wonderland, Cinderella, and Tinkerbell. So yeah, this is 5. This is the 5th in the set. And it's going to look really good. So other than the two little paint splotches, that's my biggest gripe there. The little bit of the tree not fitting tight to the base is minuscule at best. Not hating on that too much, but other than that, this is a really nice looking figure, or statue. I keep saying figure. Definitely like it a lot. Looks going to look great with the set. Will I ever try to do something to fix those two little splotches? Probably not, because my attention's always going to be mainly on her. You know, when you look at it, that's kind of where she's the focal point. And yeah, you got those two little splotches there, but it's like whatever. I'm not gonna trip on it too hard. Let it go. But yeah, that's a quick little 360 spin. That way I can wrap this video up and get it out there. It's been a while since I first started recording it, so it does need to get out there. Okay, that's your 360 spin of the John Scott Campbell's Little Red Riding Hood exclusive edition. If you like what you saw, smash that like button. Perhaps you want to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.